Fuck with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out W Bobby. Okay. So let's get into the thick of things. The first thing that I do think everybody is very much willing are talking about right now is the JJK Maki episode. So what is y'all thoughts?
Uh, I'll just go first because I'll amend it. So I gave it first things first. It was a great episode. Um, I went on Dojo. I watched it twice, and I gave it 8.5 out of I think eight or. But basically, I'm up in my score, Miles. It's like a 9.5. It was an amazing episode. I think people, in terms of the OSTs, I guess I can see why people, but um, I I was there watching the fights, not listening to the music. So if y'all had a problem with the music, that's cool. But I think just I think it was everything that I wanted it to be, and maybe I was sleeping on the episode a little bit. It was really good. It was a very good episode. The animation style, I think I'm unfair to it compared to like Ufotable, but that's unfair. And animation style is very good. I think everything in the episode just kind of worked together perfectly, which really kind of blows my mind because I guess the Japanese audience really didn't like the episode. So it just kind of shows the dichotomy, I guess, between our two cultures because they're like, oh, y'all only like it because of the fight and aura. And I was like, no, there's a lot of really cool callbacks to different films, from whether it's One Piece, different anime, whether it's One Piece or whatever. I thought it was amazing. It was a very great episode.
Also, it was a pivotal moment in Maki's character arc. I don't. And also, the Japanese fans did like it. A lot of their complaints were just like petty, weird complaints. If I'm being honest with you,
That's what I was like.
most of it just, yeah, which is something that we do in the West. Like people will complain about a One Piece episode or whatever episode of a series, and the complaints would be so petty and much to do about nothing most of the time. Like some of the complaints I saw, people were saying things like they felt like the Zenin clan was portrayed too evil. And I'm like, did we read the same manga? Like, this is not a good clan. Like, that's the point. Like, they actually did not change the perception of the Zenin clan at all from animated manga. They were saying things like, "Oh, when you know what, Maki's dad was dragging her and Mai out." They were like, in the anime, the blood streak was skinnier. In the manga, the blood streak wasn't as deep. But in the anime, they made the blood so they made them basically shit. They were bleeding out more. They made the dad seem worse than he was. Like, bro, he's trying to kill his daughters. What do you mean it made him seem worse? Not, like literally not at all. They were
So
complaining about,
less blood, less
Naoya. The
treatment
remember
than
when that scene of Maki being bullied by Naoya? They said they didn't like that the perspective was a behind the back perspective. It made him seem more cruel. Like Naoya hates women. What do you mean it made him seem more cruel? Like this is like really it. And I would argue the manga actually made him seem worse because we actually saw Maki's face. We see a character's face. The reason why things like the rumbling, I looked on them differently than like Vegeta mastery people because we actually see people get stepped on in the rumbling. So we actually see Maki's face when she's getting bullied by Naoya. So all these complaints are just to me must do about nothing. If you don't like the music, I don't know what to tell you. I thought that shit was peak. That was a great
I thought
episode.
that's what I was telling Miles on
Like,
Dojo.
that was a great episode. Maki's character right in the episode was fantastic. And it had, for us, it had hella aura everywhere. Come on now.
Yeah, I thought the music was great. I really don't understand the concept of they made it more brutal because
Yeah,
that's pretty much why you want an anime adaptation to emphasize what the manga is portraying. So the fact that it does look a little bit more brutal or whatnot, I think the anime did its job.
Yeah, they're saying that they
I
think
don't
that
always. I won't always agree to that because at the end of the day, it is a Shonen Jump. Like I don't think it's a good criticism, but I do think you could say that a series looking more brutal could be bad for a demographic that's technically supposed to be young males.
But I think about it is
So
that
let me
let
me rephrase what I'm trying to say is that it just enhances what the manga is trying to portray, whether be it a brutal scene or be it a love interest or being a time of friendship or love or whatever emotion it's the manga is trying to portray. I think anime adaptations, the job is to convey that effectively, and for them to have this kind of stance towards it, I guess maybe the Western audience just has a different viewpoint of what an anime is supposed to do. Maybe.
I don't think.
know.
And the thing about it is the only scene that because I was reading through to see what scenes they were referring to they didn't like. The only thing that actually made sense that was quote unquote portrayed the Zen clan as worse, even though I don't think it changed anything, is when the dad was dragging out Mai and May, Maki and Mai, because I guess their blood trail was thicker than it was in the manga. I guess. I guess. Like
it's a wound.
I guess. I don't but that doesn't change the scene. The scene is that he wants to kill his daughters. That doesn't change the perception of the scene. But it was one of the many complaints, at least little things like that. I'm like, this is really much to do about nothing. To me, must do about nothing.
All right, fair enough. From what I saw, just a little quick, my understanding is Japan rated it, and this is based on like how much you actually care about these ratings, like a 7.7, and Americans or the people in the West is like 9.8. Never really looking too much into it too much, but both sides still think it's a good episode. Like a 7.7 is a good episode. For me, when it comes down to it, I do think that Japan is being overly harsh because at the end of the day, even though I do think there is times where the West gets like hyper focused on animation, i.e. like Demon Slayer, or just fights and cool moments, i.e. solo leveling. I mean, Japan still likes that stuff too. We just talked about it last week where Japan had solo leveling like the #1 anime, right, Lonnie?
That was number 3.
Top 3. So they really still like the same stuff. Now, if you want to say this episode may have been overrated for like people calling it the best episode of all time, sure, I don't think it's the best episode of all time. I have episodes I think that are better than this episode, but I still think it was a good episode. I think the stuff with Maki was good. I actually like Maki a lot. I think the animation, the fights, the abilities all look good as well. So I very much enjoyed myself. But I do think there is like overly harsh criticism. There might be a semblance of truth to it. You know, a lot of people talked about how the West loves explosions and everything. The whole like Michael Bay era of Transformers. If that's what you like, that's what you like.
No, I'm saying that
hold on. We got a super chat. We got a pretty much a $10 super chat from Ramirez. I'm not gonna say that whole name because I mean, yeah. Love the show, guys. Keep being great. The Maki movement was real Toji Glaze. Hashtag
Doolin Ramirez.
And Doolin Ramirez 4288. Hashtag Riddell and Santo was right.
Before I give my take, what were they right about?
I'm trying to figure out what.
So hold on. Is the super chat? Is the super chat trying to say like this Maki Glaze? Is the super chat trying to say this Maki Glaze that she's getting is actually just Toji Glaze? Because I don't agree at all.
If you deep it, I can understand. If you really want to deep it, I can understand.
That's insane.
Because a lot of it is like a lot of it was comparing her to Toji, and she's not living up to Toji. You're not Toji. There's a lot of that in that episode. I mean, I don't agree, but if you want to really be nasty, I could say
the point of that was
if you squint really hard, you can kind of see what he means.
The point was that Naoya was wrong, though. That's the point. He said, "You're not Toji, so I'm the one that's supposed to be." And he was wrong. That's like the point. The villain be wrong, you know.
He was wrong. But I think I gave the episode like a 9.5. I think it might. I don't know if it's the best JJK episode. I'd have to like probably rewatch the rest of JJK because of the Maharaga, the final Yuji fight with Mahito's up there. But from the Kill Bill references, they definitely stole. Old dude definitely stole that shit from Deku with his fight from Overhaul. Also, the only because I don't know if like people complain about in Japan. I saw like some of the complaints that were minuscule, but he did low-key just let his brother die by just aura farming, walking slow as shit to Maki. That shit kind of was weird. I was just like, why is this nigga just still walking? No, but I thought like JJK Mappa showed that the anime just kind of flushes out, and I feel like it's more the real JJK, if that makes sense. Like the manga is more the cliff notes at this point, and the anime flushes out all of Gege's ideas, because I do feel like Gege was rushed in some areas, and he's definitely using like the anime to flesh out his story a little bit more. Not saying that there's gonna be headcanon things that like we wanted answered that is gonna get answered, stuff like that. But the stuff that we saw in the manga, I think it's gonna just be shown more. And I didn't have a problem with the tone. I think like the Japanese audience, they didn't like the tone or the feel of the episode. They said it didn't match the manga, which I disagree with. But overall, I think it was pretty solid. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought it elevated it more than anything.
Yeah, I give it the same thing, same realm, 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was cool. I really don't have any other positives to bring up because everybody kind of said them all. I'm last. But I did have things that I didn't like, and I think some of the things that other people liked are kind of fair. I didn't like how they portrayed her being similar to Toji. In the like in the little crypt they were in. I didn't think they adapted that very well compared to the manga. I thought it wasn't very clearly defined. I thought it was like a really cheap outline. I didn't think it looked good. And then I think there were a few instances throughout the fight itself where I think the animation dipped compared to the rest. I also, to Ty's point about people bringing up the brutality of when the father threw down Maki and Mai, the part where, and I was posting this a lot in the Discord, but the part where Maki beheads Jinichi, that was the part where we should have, seen more of that instead of them kind of showing it in passing. I feel like they diluted that from the manga as well. So I think there were some slight distractions that they made that I didn't agree with, and then there were some others that I think did it well. I also didn't like the music either. Some of y'all liked it. I don't think mariachi Spanish guitar fits over that kind of a scene. I was rewatching, or I had reposted Naruto versus Sasuke in 2005. That heavy hitting guitar, it fits the scene. I don't think that music fit the scene at all. So I think a lot of these complaints, some are unwarranted, and some are. That's the beauty of it all. We have different opinions, but I still think the episode was really good.
Yeah, even if it's not like universally praised, I am coming onto the mindset that conversation is the most valuable thing. So even though that everybody's not like, oh, this is the best thing ever, everybody's talking about it. And I really assume that based on how it was hyped, everybody will be going, oh, this is great, blah, 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 this is great. The fact that there's controversy makes I respect it. I kind of rock with it. Now I will say I'll never like an episode that's just purely a fight, unless it's like a climatic fight, like Naruto versus Sasuke. I probably will always enjoy stuff like that if it's like built up to that moment. Not saying this wasn't, but in comparison, I don't think it was as well. With that said, it would also have been, and this is not the point of what she did, but I also like more back and forth fights too. The slaughter though was great for what it did.
I like slaughters. I love it.
Yeah.
Especially when they're warranted. They deserve that shit. Yeah. And on the topic of Jinichi kind of aura farming, I think if anybody else knew other than Naoya himself, Jinichi knew he wasn't going to win. Toji was his fucking blood brother. He knows how strong Toji was. He probably knew what Maki was. He knew that shit was up. Whether I instantly close in or I take a day, I'm getting packed anyway. So it don't matter.
I've seen people try to like, the reason why he walks so slow is because Jinichi, like Miles kind of touched on it, Jinichi was scared. Like, yo, I'm basically fighting Toji right now. And that's why some people think the only person I feel bad for is bro. I forget his name off the top of my head. Bro was holding Maki down because he's legitimately a good person. He's the only good person in that clan. And even then, he has something. It's just the only reason I'm just going off what the author has said himself about the character. He's the only person that like he donates to orphanages and shit. I'm not saying he's Lily White, but he's the best person out that group.
I'm not gonna say he's good. Let's just say he has honor and pride for his people, right? But he's not he's not a morally good person. He's very complacent in what they're doing to not only Maki's family, but anybody in the Zenin clan that's weak. So saying he's good is
I mean he's literally down for killing Maki.
Yeah, not a good dude.
He was down for the plan. He's like, yo, let's get her out of here.
One thing I thought,
and he knows, and the plan was that they knew that they didn't do anything wrong. So
facts.
He did it with a smile on his face. Yo, let's go get her.
Like he's fine with it.
I wonder if he was down for the plan of like getting rid of Megami too. I doubt.
No, he was. That was the whole plan was to kill Maki, Mai, and Megami.
I'm just unsure. I know Naoya and what's his name was talking about it. I don't remember if he was aware of the. To be fair, he is a part of the same group. The head, I think that's
they're all in the hay.
Yeah, but we know that.
Hey,
even if they were on top of it, we know that they were all in a line with that plan, though. So
fair enough. Two things that came to mind while I was watching this episode. The first thing that came to mind is I didn't realize. It seems like the concept of twins is like surprisingly very important in JJK. And I didn't come to that epiphany until rewatching this episode or watching this episode because of Maki and Mai being twins. Sukuna had a twin, and now in Modulo there's twins. So there is a repeat of the usage of twins. I wish there was more of like a hyper focus on how important it is. And another thing that I do notice, what do y'all think about the idea that Maki and Mai kind of knew that because they were twins, their powers were divided because of the rules of jiu-jitsu? They're seen as the same person. How did nobody else know that was the case as well and just treated them like shit?
Wait, they did know. Wait, what do you mean they didn't know?
Yeah, they cared. You're weak. So, and that's it. That's the end all be all. Like, they understand the reason why.
That's even worse if they knew.
Yeah, because remember,
why is it worse?
That like twins are like taboo in the jiu-jitsu world.
Yeah, they're very aware. They just I guess I'm confused. Like, why would that be worse if they knew?
Well, because if they knew that their power is divvied up, then there's a realization that at any point, if one of them dies, and I would be curious, I don't know how this would work in the jiu-jitsu world, if you can give up their power. I mean, we kind of saw that with the twins in Modulo, I guess, to an extent, with like them sharing their powers a bit. But I'll be curious if there's a way to either give up your jiu-jitsu or give up something to your other twin and say, oh, you can have it. I'm unsure. I don't know. But if one of them were to bite the dust and then they'll be full powered, then there'd be no issue. So I'm just surprised that they didn't think of we can't find any alternative to fix this.
I think the reason why they weren't going to get touched is because of Naobito. Like he actually had respect for Maki relative to the clan. And he actually honored her because at the beginning, because she said she wanted to be the head of the clan. So like everything went to hell once he died. So like that's when the people under him, like his sons and his siblings, started to do all this other stuff. So I mean, also they just didn't respect them. Like it wasn't like a.
No, I mean I understand that, but if you realize Maki has the heavenly curse that Toji has, and that if Mai died, she would have her full power capability. I just think the foresight in realizing the potential for Maki in particular was very lackluster, to be honest. Just don't think it was there.
Didn't Mai transfer the power? I'm saying, didn't Mai also like transfer the power? Like she didn't just like die and Maki automatically get it. Like she like transferred it.
She made her a cursed tool.
She sacrificed herself into a cursed tool, and then also the idea is that Maki didn't have zero. I almost said spiritual pressure. She didn't have zero cursed energy, but she had very little because of Mai's existence. They just so happen to have like the perfect dichotomy of each other, to where when she passed along, her cursed energy, whatever was left, was gone, and it completed the heavenly restriction. Maki this whole time had an incomplete heavenly restriction. That's all it was, because she had cursed energy. It's just not enough to actually utilize it.
And again, I think because Naobito like didn't want them dead, they weren't gonna, like, he was the head, so like he has the final say at that time. So like
that would have been the worst solution, killing Mai for sure. But maybe it's just not a thing in JJK. But some entertainment of, can we somehow complete the heavenly restriction to have a weapon that's like the second coming of Toji, probably should have came into someone's mind.
Well, foresight, since you mentioned that, Riddell, because like you said, there's twins in Modelo. Eventually, like if something similar happens, because the girl twin's gonna die, or she's already dying. So she were to somehow.
They're twins? I didn't realize they were twins.
They're twins.
Or are they just siblings?
I don't.
They're I'm pretty sure they're twins. The male is just older than the female. He came out first.
Okay. Yeah, so she was able
to shout out the twins, man.
Yeah, she's somehow able to give him like the 10 shadows while he has heavenly restriction. then he would be, I guess.
You gotta be broken as hell. He's gonna have Rika and Maharaga.
Yeah. I don't think he. Yeah, I don't see that happening. That's too much.
I mean, KJ loves these twin stuff. Obviously, he has 4 twins in his series. He about to do something crazy.
Yuji just showed up near the end. He's about to change stuff. You saw what he did with his entrance.
I don't know. Rika and Maharaga in one person?
Before we continue, we got a $2 super chat from Angie.
They aren't twins, by the way. I looked it up.
What's with anime manga obsession of clan killing?
Hey, some authors hate their families. I don't know.
Some clans be tripping, bro. I'm guessing what the twin stings for the aliens is like the 2 twin brothers. I'm not caught up with Modula, so I could be just talking on my ass. But I could see those 2 twins eventually teaming up to take off the guy that's like as strong as Sukuna. You see that happening?
The guy
he's fighting Maharaga right now, so.
I mean, he's about to level up.
Yeah,
he's about to level up because Maharaga is kind of aura farming his shit, and this is not something that he's accustomed to. So I think he has another level left in him. Ultimately, I think Yuji's probably gonna intervene on this conflict for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't see the Sukuna guy even dying. As a matter of fact, I don't see him dying or losing. It's very clear that he's more of a weapon than he is like actually complicit in what he has to do. He doesn't want to do all of this.
I don't even think he's the strongest. I don't think he's the strongest alien.
No?
You think there's someone stronger than him? I thought they pretty clearly said he was the strongest one.
We would have to see. Right now, especially when you have a curse technique that can't even be described by human language, I'm putting them up there. They just said his curse technique
definitely up there.
Blank space. No English.
I think I don't know. Like you said, he's gonna level up, so I do want to see what his level up looks like. But I feel like there's gonna be something else.
Mystic Johan is right, and Maru does use Cross's curse technique. So Riddell was kind of right, just about the wrong twins, because Maru is using both their curse techniques right now in the manga.
Maru, the aliens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I was talking about initially. I was talking about the aliens.
So you are indeed correct.